Welcome to Car Comparos. Today we'll be comparing the Honda BRV with the Hyundai Creta. So why are we comparing these two cars? Creta's penultimate variant, the SX Plus manual diesel, costs 15.75 lakh on road Delhi. Customers looking for the added practicality of 7 seats might consider sacrificing some style and go for the Honda BRV. BRV's high-end VX variant retails for 15.1 lakh, which is 65,000 rupees cheaper than the Creta. Both cars have similar feature content. The Creta has an added touchscreen infotainment system over the BRV, while the BRV has extra leather seats over the Creta. Performance and drivability. Honda's 1.5-liter VTEC petrol mill is a legend. Its lightning-fast performance, buttery smooth refinement, and sonorous exhaust note is quite an unbeatable combination. Hyundai has tried very hard to beat Honda with its 1.6 VT mill, but hasn't quite achieved it. Overall, the Creta has marginally weak performance than the BRV, and though Hyundai has sound-deadened it into submission, Creta's engine isn't as rev-happy or as sweet-sounding as the BRV's. Amongst the diesels, both cars seem quite similar on paper, but they behave very differently on road. The Creta has tremendous turbo lag below 2000 rpm, making it quite frustrating to drive in city traffic. The BRV, in contrast, has almost no turbo lag, making it ideal for city usage. On the highway, Creta's abrupt power delivery makes it feel faster than the BRV, but actually it isn't. However, the Creta is significantly more refined than the BRV at all speeds. Fuel efficiency. The BRV Petrol-Manual has an ARAI certified mileage of 15.4 kmpl, which is similar to the Creta's mileage of 15.3 kmpl. The BRV Petrol-Automatic has an ARAI certified mileage of 16 kmpl, which is 2 kmpl more than the Creta. The BRV Diesel Manual has an ARAI certified mileage of 21.9 kmpl, which is 0.5 kmpl more than the Creta 1.4 and 2.2 kmpl more than the Creta 1.6. In our real-world tests, both the manual and automatic petrol BRVs were almost 2 kmpl more efficient than their Creta counterparts. The diesel BRV was consistently 1 kmpl more efficient than the 1.4 Creta and 2 kmpl more efficient than the 1.6 Creta diesel manual. Space and comfort. The BRV is a more practical vehicle than the Creta. Firstly, the Creta has a fairly tight cabin, especially considering its rather generous proportions. The BRV, in contrast, has a slightly more spacious cabin with a significantly more airy ambience. Plus, there is the extra third row of seats inside the BRV, which are comfortable enough for smallest members of the family. With all the seats up, the BRV still has a decent 220 liters of boot space, which is equivalent to cars like the Celerio. With the rear seats folded, it expands to 725 liters, which is almost twice as much as the Creta's 402-liter boot volume. Handling and ride quality. Creta is an utter disappointment when it comes to dynamics. It is quite peculiar as to how Hyundai has screwed up both the handling and ride quality of the Creta. It transmits the impact from even moderate bumps and ruts to the occupants, which is unforgivable for a so-called SUV. Handling is even worse, with a super light, vague and ponderous steering rack spoiling it even further. The BRV, in contrast, both handles and rides surprisingly well considering its tall height. Especially its steering is quite precise and transmits a hint of feedback from the surface below. Reliability and after-sales service. Both Honda and Hyundai have an excellent track record of product reliability. Hyundai, though, has an edge over Honda in terms of service support. Hyundai has a wider service network with 800 plus touchpoints compared to Honda's 250. Customer service is also better than Honda's outlets. However, Hyundai's service costs are significantly higher than Honda's. Resale and cost of ownership. Both the BRV and the Creta are bound to hold fantastic resale value over the next 5 to 7 years. Petrol-powered BRV and Creta Manual have more or less similar cost of ownership. The BRV Automatic though works out to be over a lakh rupees cheaper than the Creta Petrol Automatic. The diesel-powered BRV is almost a lakh rupees lesser in ownership costs compared to the equivalent Creta Diesel 1.6. That brings us to the verdict. Fundamentally, the BRV is far superior to the Creta. It has far better dynamics and drivability than the Creta. It is also a more practical car thanks to better space and ergonomics than the Creta. Creta is sort of a all-show no-go car with flashy looks but no real capabilities. The BRV is without doubt our pick of this comparison.